Acre. Oh.
Do you want to hold the guitar or no?
Chromatic Corner.
With Ellie Aker and Owen. And today we are listening to How to Leave Town by Car Seat Headrest.
Yeah. That's the guy, Will Toledo. We listened to Monomania one time, and that was pretty good. I liked it.
Yeah, I think it's a solid
I
one.
think it's a solid one. What did you give it?
I think I gave it a 6.
You gave it a 6. Like, what the fuck, man? It doesn't make any sense. Like, you were
I
just
thought it was
being
solid.
mean. You were just being mean. Like that's. I feel like I was like, maybe you give it a 7, but like I was debating between thinking you'd give it an 8 or a 9. I give it an 8 personally because I can acknowledge quality. You're just being mean.
That's how I felt about it.
Dude. Well, yeah, okay. But yeah, How to Leave Town. It's by some considered the best one, for some reason. I guess that's too opinionated from the start.
You just pop off, kid.
Lots of people think it's like 10 out of 10 album. Think it's better than Twin Fantasy. Some people don't think that, but still think it's pretty good. I don't think anyone thinks it's bad.
I think that's fair. I don't think it's bad.
I don't think it's bad. I think it's a good album. But I guess we'll have to find out if that changes when we listen to it again. Because maybe, it's been like a couple months since I listened to it. I think. I like Car Seat Headrest.
I don't remember how long it's been. I think it's been way longer for me.
Car Seat Headrest was like an era ago for you.
Yeah, that was a couple eras back.
Yeah. I mean, it's still good though. Still good music. Still good tunes.
Yeah, I'd like to think most of it is, so I try not to listen to it so I don't prove myself wrong.
This is kind of spicy then.
I'm just a little worried I won't find it good.
That's to invalidate your teenhood. I mean, you're never that angsty of a Car Seat Headrest listener. You just like the music.
Yeah, basically.
You were straight. So
that is true. I did come out of the Car Seat Headrest phase unscathed.
Dodged the pipeline. Yeah. No, I feel like Car Seat Headrest has the most highest density of pipeline memes out of any fandom I've ever seen, which makes sense. I mean, because when the end result is furry, it's pretty spicy.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense.
It's pretty easy to make furry pipeline. Yeah, I don't like furry. I don't dislike furries. I mean, I'm saying that I'm not personally a furry. It's not my decision. My manager at one of my jobs was a furry. Would wear a tail.
Okay. Anyways, to actually start with the music, we will be coming up track 1.
The ending of Dramamine. It's a long one, so we'll be back.
We'll see you in 15 minutes.
See you on the other side.
We have returned from our hibernation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like the intro feels longer than I remembered it being.
I don't think it's that long. I just think it's not the most impressive. So, I mean, I think... So, I don't know, I was telling you, from the perspective of, a 2014 Car Seat Headrest fan who's followed this guy... Okay, I'm not a Car 20. This is like if you were a 2014 Car Seat Headrest
Hypothetically
fan.
speaking.
I haven't been alive for that long. I think I was 10. No, I was 8. But if I was a 2014 Car Seat Headrest fan who's been following this guy for a couple of years, I'd be kind of blown away by that intro. I'd be like, well, this is something new. Something. I mean, there's a longer intro on Boxing Day, but that was pretty drums and bass and guitar.
Completely different instrumentally.
Yeah, this is something that's entirely new, and I think that's cool. I just think that overall the execution isn't very super instrumentally ambitious, or I mean, it's ambitious, but it's not impressive. I think that Will Toledo, what I go to Will Toledo's music for isn't the bombastic instrumental. It's the humor and lyrics, and also just the lo-fi production. I think
that's fair.
That's what I think is cool, and fun hooks and fun tunes. So I think it's definitely a respectable ambition, but I don't think it's the intro itself. Though it does have good payoff, I feel like, is the thing.
Yeah, I like how it comes back in the end, and then he really layers on more.
Yeah.
For the outro.
Yeah, maybe we're gonna talk about the outro now.
Well, because he uses this as like the backbone for the outro.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think
foundation is a better term there.
Yeah, I think the outro is superior. When I look at it, I think the outro is cool. I like the guitars. I mean, that's what he's good at. You know, he's a guitarist first and foremost. And so I think that's it's fun to hear the feedback stuff. I like feedbacky guitars.
Those are fun.
I'm wearing a yellow tango shirt right now. I like feedback, and so I think that's fun. Even if it's not like quite sophisticated as other guitarists can do, I think it's still a more enjoyable effort. You know, and I think it's a good, and especially after the rest of the song, it feels cathartic and like a good end, especially with like the pounding, whatever that big smack is that keeps on coming at the end. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know what it is. It's some kind of like busted kick drum or something, or just maybe altered. I don't know.
Something cool.
It's cool, and so I like it. And so I like that part too. But I guess we can talk about the meat.
The meat?
In the middle.
Okay.
Don't make it weird.
That's what I thought you said.
That's what I said. I said the meat of the song. Like.
Oh, I was just like saying it back to confirm that's what you said.
Yeah, you do like the meat.
I just didn't expect that.
Time.
Okay.
What's your opinion on the music?
I think it's fun. I mean, I think it's iconic. The shobity bup bup shibide oh yeah part.
Yeah.
Like that goes. That's just fun every single time.
Yeah. I think that's honestly one of the weaker parts of the song for me personally.
Oh, really?
I think I like the kind of funny verse lyrics. I think that's I like the wordplay. I feel like there's some good wordplay. I like the very intro. That's a good analogy for. I mean, imagine I'm a pretty happy guy, but I feel like that would be a good analogy for being depressed and feeling out of control in your life. You know, the idea of you're like, oh, everything's going bad, but I mean, the car doesn't stop. You know, I think that makes sense. I like that, and I mean, as someone who hasn't really experienced that, I can see the vision. Makes me empathize with that. But yeah, and the same thing, like, hate yourself. Do you hate yourself? I don't hate myself. I tolerate myself. I wish I saw. I like that line a lot. I think that's very. It feels like a realist depression, and I think that's neat.
You know, what's the part? I don't know what he actually says. Is it something? My joke body.
Oh yeah.
What's the actual line?
Moving my joke body through.
It is joke body.
Night. Yeah, and then I know I'll be ripped in heaven.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, and just in comparison, the chorus, I understand the idea of like, oh, I don't know the name of what I'm suffering from. You know, like I don't know why I'm sad, but I just think it's fun the way he does it. It just doesn't do it for me that well, and I can't really explain why. I see the vision.
I think it's cute.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's cute. I don't know. Are you like hardcore on that train, or are you just like...
I like that part. I think it's really fun.
Yeah. No, I think it's fun. So, any other... Like, what's your...
I guess when I listen to this, I always focus more on the instruments rather than the lyrics themselves.
Yeah.
But I think maybe that's just... The well's been poisoned on that a bit by the intro, and it's just 5 minutes straight of instruments, and so my ears are just tuned into that more.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I agree that I think the progression there is good. I like when the drums come back in for the first time, and the like after Will's come in and started his first verse about the car and stuff. I like when the drums come back and it's like the same drum beat from the intro. That feels pretty like vibey. You're like, yeah, we're going somewhere. You know, I'm on board when that happens. I'm like, yeah. And it builds nicely, I think. And I think, yeah, especially the instrumentals in this middle section are more in more of a comfort zone for Will, I feel like. And I think it shows well. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And I guess we have to talk about the big climactic part, like the centerpiece, right? You know what I'm talking about?
I honestly, I will know what you're talking about the moment you say what it is.
And in the sky, there's a place.
Oh yeah, yeah.
That you had like the climax of the song.
So you said that. I don't know. I feel like this song peaks in a couple places at least.
Yeah, like what other peaks do you think there are?
The end.
Like the end, yeah.
By a couple peaks, I mean this and the end.
Yeah, I do. I guess like it peaks in tension towards the end. I mean, I do like the outro a lot. I think this is like the best part of the song. I think it has some pretty powerful lyrics there. I think the "and I've got the power now. Yeah, I know what to do to make you feel something beside pain." That's like a big hit because it's like, yeah, when you're caring for someone who doesn't care for themselves, that's really a tough position to be in. I think the fact that even when Will has spent the rest of the song talking about his own problems and his own issues with his joke body in the cold November night, I feel like coming to here and being like, and I've got the power now to make you feel something besides pain, showing that there's this other here who is like also suffering. I think that's a powerful moment there. And I think the idea of just like sex as just like a temporary band-aid but making it sound euphoric is just kind of a nice contrast. You know, it's in the peak of the song, but it's also like it's so temporary. This peak is very short, and I think it's these like listening to this part, you know, it's gonna fall back to the same like kind of slow and direness of the rest of it. So I think it's a good contrast. I think that's a really good part of it, and I think it's what this whole song is built off of. I think that's why it's so long, is just to put this little spot in contrast with the rest of it. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I can see that being the case.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So we're on to track 2.
Yeah.
Which is...
I forgot.
Oh, you
it's
forgot.
Beast Thing, right?
Yeah,
It's
Beast Thing.
Beast Monster Thing in space.
Is it love?
No, it's just
love.
Love Isn't Love Enough.
Yeah,
Beast
Love
Monster
Isn't
Thing.
Love Enough, in parentheses.
I like that one.
I really like that
That
one.
one,
I've always liked that one a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start off with the instruments at first, I guess. The soundscape. So I can sound as intellectual as possible here. I think it all works really well together. I like how garagey the drums are and all the... I don't know guitar effects too well, so I don't know how to describe it. You'd know more than I would. But I think those sound great too, and the effects he uses on the vocals, I think it all just works really well together here. And
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they sound pretty similar to the ones in the prior song, the ending of Drama. I mean, the drums sound a lot more garagey in this one, though.
I agree.
Sorry, you're chewing. I shouldn't try to pass it to you. And yeah, it's just all great. I love that intro so much. I love it so much. It sounds so good.
Yeah. No, I love that like riff at the beginning.
Yeah.
And I was gonna say, yeah, I agree with you that I feel like this is like this song, like you're looking on a timeline of like Car Seat Headrest for like, you know, like just song by song, all the albums lined up. This is really like where like it hits really hard instrumentally. Like I feel like I was trying to figure out as we were listening to that, like if this is when like the rest of the band came in and was recording, or if this is still all Will. But regardless, it's the most like strong the instrumentals have ever sounded. It's like it's just very I don't know. I think I like all the guitar stuff. It's very well layered and very well put together. I like the mix of distortion-y and also clean guitars towards the end with the outro. I don't know. I like a lot of it. I think lyrically it's just a fun song. You know what I mean? There's not one part where I'm like, oh, this hits super hard, but I think it's just all like a bunch of like fun lyrics. You know, the I co-write my songs with myself is funny. I've always liked that line. And him writing lyrics in the bathroom. I think that's funny too. I like a lot of, I think it's a fun song. It's definitely like a good palate cleanser from ending Drama Main, which is more ambitious and long. This is also a long song, don't get me wrong. This is short.
Yeah.
But it's like a more driving song, and it takes a little more lighthearted stance on things, and I think that's nice.
In my teen years, this was always my favorite out of the album, out of the bunch. I just starting off immediately, I just related with it a lot. Little teen Ellie Aker. I just the line, any remaining interest, my friends and me, it's just, hey, this animal can talk. I don't know. I felt that heavy in high school. It's gotten better. And then just how a lot the chorus, yes, question mark. Love isn't love enough, at least not how I'm making it. It's further and further, the whole rest of it. I don't know, just that idea about how I don't know, the love that you're experiencing at that time, or at least that I was in high school, and how I don't know, it didn't scratch the itch. It didn't really go. It didn't feel how I expected it to feel, and it was confusing and yeah, it was high school. What can I say?
Yeah. No, you reminded me of that line. I wasn't even thinking of that. The board play there is funny. I think I enjoy that. You know, the I don't need to explain it. It's obvious. But I don't like that a lot. I think this is a banger song. I think it's a fun one. I think it's one of the most fun ones on the album, at least from my memory. You know, and yeah, I like it.
Yeah, for the longest time after he says "Don't get mad at the system, you can't change the system," I didn't know like during the like big instrumental part after that. It was drowned out, so I didn't really recognize it. But where he says like the opposite of that, doing that of those whole lines.
Oh, I never read that before. Yeah, I never. Don't get mad at the system. You can't change. Get mad at your lover. You can affect your lover, like pulling nails at the back of the hammer.
Well, after that part, he's talking about it's the system that's getting you down.
Oh, really?
At some point, I forget when.
Yeah.
Also, I never fully understood the lines like pulling out nails from the back of the hammer. I know he uses it in a lot of songs, but I never really got what it was trying to portray.
Yeah, I don't know if I understand that either. I think I can tell these like it's like itches a part of me where I'm like, oh, that probably means something cool.
I mean, like it's fun to pull out a nail with the back of a hammer. I mean, like that's what they're for.
Yeah, like it's like something that normally pounds can like pull it. I don't know what that means, but I like it. I think it's.
I'm
cool.
sure it's super deep.
I'm sure it's super cool. Probably ask Reddit. Probably give you a good answer.
There's probably an answer.
I trust Will. Will wouldn't just say things. He wouldn't lie on the internet.
No one would lie on the internet. Come on, Owen.
What kind of person would do that?
You have anything else?
No, I like it.
All right, track 3.
I don't know the track order on this.
I don't remember this one.
Oh,
Kimichi. Oh, how do you pronounce it?
Right, the one you can't pronounce.
Kimochi Wayu.
Another good one. That one, I think this is the song that sells me on, like, the synth emphasis on this album. Because there's kind of, like...
This is the one that steals your heart.
This is, yeah. I mean, I think just specifically that aspect of it, though.
Because, I mean, like, you have, like, that intro is, like, when you really debuts all those, like, you know, like, synthy things. I don't know that much about synths. But then, like, you know, Beast Monster thing is kind of, like, a step away from that a little bit. Like,
yeah, it's more just rock.
It's more just, just crotch rock. You know, banger stuff. But then this one, it, like, takes those synths and it really, like, uses them a lot. Like, especially, like, outro and just, like, having that consistent kind of throb throughout the whole thing. I think it really sells that different direction for it. I think it sounds really good. I think this is my favorite thus far, all the tracks. You asked what Kimochi Wadu. I could ask one of my friends how to say that. Means what that means, and it's in this like bridge when he says, "I feel sick, I don't feel well, what a disgusting feeling, I don't like this feeling." It's from a Reddit post. I told you that. Like it's. He looked up. He's watching an anime. I can't remember which anime, and the character said that in like a dramatic moment. He asked what it meant, and someone listed a bunch of different definitions. I don't know if it was Will who asked it, but some other person on Reddit, when someone asked what this was all about, had like somehow dug up that same Reddit post and was like, "This is probably what it was." So that's interesting. But what are your thoughts on this
I think
song?
the thing that stuck out to me, with the lyrics here, it just felt more like he was talking to himself more than I think I've gotten that vibe from most of his other stuff. Like it felt more like a journal entry to me.
Yeah. Like, how so? Like, you mean like more personal, more honest than that other before? Or like...
No, it seemed more directed at himself.
Yeah.
Is how it came across to me.
Yeah. I mean, this in the start, yeah, I can see like his later parts. I mean, the start is kind of like a,
I mean, yeah, he does start it with
like a,
"Hey, Will."
yeah. I mean, it's kind of like a, I view it as like him like reciting kind of deadpan a conversation someone else was talking to him with. like someone else is trying to give him a pep talk or something. Like, what are you fighting for? Why are you here? And like almost like an angry kind of confrontation, because when someone is like in such a rough position, people who don't really understand them would be like, well, what are you even doing? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like,
I don't know, because I feel like building up to this, there's a lot of depressive vibes being thrown around.
Yeah.
And so I feel like when you're in that headspace, it can be like it's very easy to ask yourself that, where it's like, what am I even doing?
Yeah, I guess I'd see it that way too. I don't know. I think it works either way. I think it works as like a Will talking to himself, or a fresh. I guess it probably makes more sense as Will talking to himself, or like I don't know, like hearing that kind of like frustrated, like other who's trying to care for you and it just doesn't understand. I think yeah, but yeah, I mean it does feel very personal. I think it's less. I think this song out of any of them is taken very seriously, like almost like the most. Like there's not a lot of levity in this song. I feel like it's mostly just direct admittance of just like, I don't know what to do with my life. You know?
Yeah.
Like tells a sad story about Brian Wilson and stuff, and yeah, I don't know. I like it a lot. I like it's instrumentally. I think, what was that one part we both like instinctively saying when we got to it? It was, and now I've got nowhere to pray to, and now I've got nowhere to stay the night, and it's hard to be here at all. That's a hard line, especially with the instrumental around it. I think that's a very strong. I mean, like, the strength of Will Toledo has always been his kind of non-linear writing style, and I think that's a really great instance of it, because that happens like, I mean, there's another kind of instance of that melody, but it feels a very distinct moment in the song, and I think it's, I don't know, I like that part a lot.
How do you feel? Where would you put his big like vocalization part in this song? Is that like high on your tier list of Will Toledo O's?
Well, that's towards the end.
Yeah. Like,
okay, yeah. I don't know if I'd have a list of Will Toledo O's. I think it's good. I think it works in the context of the song. I'd say it's probably up there, but and again, I'd have to listen to all the Will Toledo O's. You know,
that would be a funny compilation.
That would be really funny. It's just if you try to like lead them all into each other. You know what I mean?
I feel like that would be too much.
That would, yeah.
I feel like it's a compilation. You want them to be broken up so you can tell the difference. I mean, you would, regardless, but...
That's true. I think, yeah, you kind of shot down that idea, but yeah, I think that's warranted. I think it wouldn't really be that funny. You know? I think it'd be just a little more like... Because it's different, yeah.
You just started off with Will Toledo holding, like, sucking in a lot of air.
Yeah. Like from like Beach Life and Death.
Yeah.
Like that opening, yeah.
Anyways, back on track.
Back on track. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot more to say about it. It's one of the shorter songs.
Yeah, I don't feel like I have much.
Yeah,
besides
I like
that.
it a lot, though.
That's great.
It's just a solid.
I think it's very okay.
You think so? You're more so on it, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's bad by any stretch, but I don't know.
It doesn't hit as hard as.
Yeah, whatever this guy's saying.
This animal can't.
All right, I think we're gonna go on track 4 now, which is I-94. Am I right? Is it the interlude?
I-94. Yeah. Okay, we're probably continue the tradition of me looking up things. We can find where that is. I mean, I'm sure most people who understand the interstate system would know. It's probably in like Midwest or something. Where does Will Toledo live? Like at the time of this album?
I don't know. I'm not a stalker like that. Not a good look, Owen.
I think he's in. No, that's a different. Another person lives in Toledo, Ohio. He's Will Toledo, so it's not in Ohio. Sorry, let's cut the video.
All right, interludes. Who loves them? I sure do.
I like a good interlude. I think that one's just nice.
I think it's fine. I literally have nothing to say about it.
It's like, I'm sure there's someone out there who they're like one of those people who only listens to Car Seat Headrest, who's like, oh, that's peak interlude, I
Maybe.
could talk to you about it for like an hour, but
That
unfortunately,
sounds like 8th grade me.
that sounds like 8th grade. Ellie Aker, am I right? So we're just gonna say that it's a nice little guitar duel that you obviously came up with that would work for a minute and keep our attention for a minute, and I like it.
I really felt like you were trying to dig yourself out of a hole.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Next
track
song.
5.
You're in love with me.
No, I'm not.
That was weak.
You know, as
Oh, you go first.
yeah, I'm going. Sorry, but my turn. I remember as back in high school not liking this because it was so fun and silly,
Yeah.
and how I don't know back in the day when I listened to Car Seat Headrest, I wanted to cry. I didn't want to feel happy and jolly.
Yeah.
But this one's just good.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, my intro, my little thing was that I remember seeing on Reddit people not liking this song. People being like, oh, this is like not with the rest of the album or something. And I was about to say, if you don't like this song, then that you're lame, you're pretentious, and you're boring. I think the idea that it doesn't fit is kind of simplifying the album a little bit. I think that it's reducing it, and I think that this is really one of the best tracks on the album just because it's fun.
I would also say, like, just while I was listening, I kind of went in with that mindset of expecting not to feel like it fit, but it's like the instrumentation fits completely with it.
Yeah.
If anything, like as I was listening to it, I kept feeling like getting taste hints, flourishes of what's to come in future Car Seat Headrest discography.
Yeah.
It felt more like Teens of Denial than anything else has.
It does
on this. It really hit the dad rock nerve more than any of the others have.
Especially like at certain points where it just kind of gets like with the Quiet Loud dynamics, it goes a little quieter, and it's like with the bass and stuff, and just like kind of like very grooving, very like in.
Yeah, it felt more
tight.
like it could be like a '90s one-hit wonder.
Yeah, and I don't know. I like different parts of the instrumental. I like when it gets to the breakdown at the end. There's that like nice little bass. I can't do it anymore in my head because I forgot exactly how it sounds, but it just has this nice little bass thing that goes cool. It definitely sounds a little bit like Unforgiving Girl. Like I feel like it's kind of like filling a similar spot here. And I think you can see the argument's better for Unforgiving Girl as to how that doesn't really fit that well in the album, but I like that song too. I think this one, though, I think it provides a nice spot of levity, because even when you're living a life, I mean, some people live really awful lives, but even when you're living a life like Will's, where it's like you're like, you know, like sad a lot of the time, I feel like there's still that levity and that fun to it. And I think especially with like a romantic partner, you know what I mean? I feel like people still at that point where like, you know, I love that person. I like that person, and I'm so glad that it's like reciprocated. I think that's an important part, because this is like, it shows duality in the relationship. You know what I mean? Like the reason why it exists. I think, because whenever I listen to an album and it's just someone bumming out on this person the whole time, like that they broke up with, I'm like, what? Why do you even care then? Are you just happy to be out? Like, it just seems immature to me. And I'm like, I think here it shows that kind of like, you know, even when Will is mad at this person, or like upset or disappointed in this person, or even just like struggling with them, you know, there's a reason why he still perseveres anyways.
Yeah, I can see that. It makes it feel more real.
Yeah,
genuine.
It's a mature. It's, even though it's fun, it's a mature addition to the album, I feel like. And
it's so awesome when he says that I knew Barack would be proud.
That's the best line. In a way, that's the best line on the album, I think. Like, I mean, obviously, there's other ones that hit harder in like an emotional sense, but I think that's the most unique.
So
and iconic.
Good.
Yeah. There's just it's a setup, and you already thought there's the punchline of just like the ridiculousness of him being here in the driver's license photo, but when he hammers it home and he brings it all together, and it's like, oh, that's why we're talking about this right now. It feels good. It's a good line.
All right, track 6.
Track 6, yeah.
America. Never Been.
Yeah, I'm here right now. In contrast, I think that this is one of the most complicated CSH songs, like out of like the whole like his whole discography. I think it's really kind of a layered one. At least it's very fun. But
Structurally, or
just in general, just idea wise. I guess there's just two really big things going on here, and they kind of like jam together in a lot of different ways. I mean, I guess
what would you say those two big things are?
just kind of like this kind of tour, kind of on the road, ideas of fame and criticism of their like superficialness, but then also just this struggles with feeling like you're not in the real thing with love, and kind of drawing parallels between those two things. Like it being like I've never really been in love. I've never, yeah, that whole thing. And that's just contrasting that with this other part. I don't know. I think there's just it's difficult to pick it apart at times, but I think that's what's cool about it. But it's also just goes very. I mean, you probably say that. I don't know what goes hard means. He told me that it means something different than what I think it means. I think it goes hard. It's fun to listen to. But you're gonna say it doesn't go hard.
I'm not gonna comment on it.
It's just good.
I don't know. While I was listening to it, it just popped in my head. I don't know if he's like using America as like symbolism for like, I don't know, because he kind of like talks up, like idolizes things a little bit about aspects,
civil rights,
basically.
Yeah.
But like comparing that to idolizing the state of being in a relationship, and like how like in there he says, you know, our problems don't end just because we get boy and girl friends.
Yeah.
And then he also, you know, kind of, I guess, yeah, civil rights basically part. There's like some things there where it's like showing cracks, I guess.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know, I feel like there's a bit of a theme with idolizing what being in love means and feels like, and then how when you're actually in a relationship, it's not those things, and so it feels like it's not the real thing, or not enough, dare I say. Where he talks about in the Beast Monster thing, and then I think he also says a similar thing here.
Yeah.
Doesn't he?
I think that makes a lot of sense, yeah. I mean, I think I was kind of thinking that, but then like you said it in a better way than I was thinking it. I don't know, I just think it feels like kind of a rush. It's a song that like feels like a rush of just like life going on. He's busy with touring America. Then he's also, I mean this is, I feel like part of that has to be about a commentary about like going. I mean, does that neon sign shine for me? You know, him going to different shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then also just like mixing that with just like he's still dealing with life. He's in love with his touring life, but it's also those things, same things can be applied to his life. And I think it's just a very versatile song. I think it's very well put together, and I think, and all that aside, just it's really, really fun to listen to. I don't know.
I remember the very first time I listened to it, and I don't want to say mad or sad, but just wanting the whole song to be the intro vibe.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess that at first feels like it's more fitting.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's the best way. Like it feels more expected than what we
with
get.
the rest of the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. I just like the kind of grandeur of the intro, but kind of how it feels kind of like over dramatic and on purpose, like kind of like a, I don't know. I think I like having the intro where it is, and then coming to this song.
I mean, I like it now. I was just saying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The very first time I listened to it.
Yeah, I can see that. I don't know. I like. I don't know. It's like how it feels like a rush. I like how when he's at the end he screams America.
This is the place.
Yeah, and it's like that's one of his. I think it's one of the most hoarse Will Toledo yells.
Yeah.
Ever, which is interesting. It's in the song. It's just he just really gets into it. I think it's a good performance. I don't know. I think the whole thing's just super solid. I like in the intro particularly. I feel like it gets a little overshadowed by the rest of the song, which makes sense. But I like the slide guitar. I learned that. I taught
just from the slide guitar one time. And it's not hard. It's not impressive. It's it's not impressive. I just had fun learning it because I got a slide. That's one of the first things I did.
That's nice.
Let's go and do that because it's a fun line. And I think, yeah, I just think it's a clever song.
Sweet. Track 7.
I don't want you to know that I'm awake. I don't
Slash.
want you to know that I'm. Is that what it is? I can't see it.
I believe there is a slash.
No, there is a slash, but I don't. Yeah.
No.
Yeah, this is the angsty song of the bunch.
It's super angsty.
It's really heavy and it doesn't really let up at all.
Mm-hmm. It's just pretty. I mean, it's the thick of the relationship, right? You know.
This is the fight song.
Yeah.
Take back my rights song. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I remember that song. No, I don't know. I like it. I think it's a good song. I think it's pretty cathartic at a lot of points, you know?
It definitely is, yeah.
Sorry. I just want to pull up the lyrics again. But
yeah, the beginning starts strong.
Yeah. I think it's that vibe. It's again just very instrumentally, just like simple but like strong song. I think it's tasteful.
Yeah, I would say this one goes hard and stays hard throughout.
Yeah, that's what goes hard means. Okay, I'll keep note that this is an example. I'm trying to like piece together.
This is an example of what goes hard means.
Yeah, tell me like I'm keeping like a list of all your goes hard songs so I can like derive from what it actually means because you seem to know. But yeah, I think there's so many lines. There's so many like parts in here talking about your final phrase in my last sentence hangs in the air. You know, that kind of stuff where it's just like having friction in a relationship. I mean it honestly doesn't do a ton for me for the most part. I don't know. Maybe I haven't really had a relationship where I'm like, oh, this sucks.
That's cool.
I know. I think that's good. It's good for me, I guess. I don't know. I think it's really. I mean, it's really a downer. I think there's some good spots in it. I like my favorite part of it. Well, I like the QFC part. My favorite part of it is probably when it talks about the Beatles broke up and it says Paul said I just started doubting everything I did, and I think that's a really dramatic part. I think it's a cool quote to bring in here just to relate the Beatles breaking up to everything else, and then just having that quote there. I don't know. It's just the way he delivers it, and then the crashing stuff afterwards sounds cool. Yeah, I just think it's solid.
It's very solid.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pick anything in specific here. I think it is just a constant stream of just good music and good. I mean, it really portrays the situation he is. I'd say it really captures the vibe that he goes for here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's very real. I feel like you're saying things. It's very real. It's like very. It feels like a realistic expression of relationship. I think, yeah.
Yeah,
It's surprising. This is one of the ones that feels like we have less to say about since it's one of the more iconic ones. I feel like.
I don't know what does he say exactly? Just because he really paints a picture of him just being in the parking lot and then just having a bloody thumb.
Yeah, my thumb, which was bleeding for some reason. And he says, "Leave me chill, red blossoms on the napkin. I felt sick, didn't know what to do. How long would it be before I could face you?"
I don't know, just yeah. I mean, at points when you're in a relationship like this, you feel kind of. I don't want to say trapped, but it's like you've got to go back to this person, and I mean, especially when you're in the middle of a fight.
Yeah.
And it's like it's not the thing you look forward to.
Yeah, and for whatever reason, I'm giving a lot of credit. I feel like this scene of him in the parking lot next to the QFC just being like, man, what am I gonna do? I feel like that imagery, even though there's not a ton of like description or anything, it just feels very vivid. It feels like a very imaginable and relatable image of just being like in a parking lot, just being like, what am I gonna do? Because I mean, it's like, yeah, I don't know. I like that part a lot too. So, yeah.
In terms of the cathartic spots, I really like when he just starts yelling and belting.
Like where? Oh, whoa!
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that part.
Yeah, the whole dynamics at the end where it's talking about, these people and this stuff, and then
Yeah,
I think that's cool. I like it. It's not something that's like I'm like super blown away by, honestly.
okay.
I think it's cool. I'm just not like here for it all the time. I think I used to like the song a lot more. Used to be more of a like
When you were an angstier man.
when I was angstier, yeah, or just more easily impressed.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I like it though. I think it's a solid song, on the album. It's definitely not a dip in quality or anything. I just don't think it's like a big like whoa either.
Mm-hmm. Would you say there were previous dips? You think it's been pretty
I don't
flat
think
so
so.
far?
I think it's been pretty solid. I think there's been some spikes, but wouldn't say there's anything that goes below the lines. Yeah. If you were to say like, oh, here's like the line of quality, I'd tell you some that are like, oh, that's a really cool song, and then the rest of I don't know. But to show you that, I used to really think this was one of my favorite songs on the album. This actually used to be my phone password before my old phone broke. Yeah.
Wait, like the whole title?
Just the I want you to know that I'm awake. I just took the first letter of each of those words and put that in as my phone password.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
It's like that's a long password.
No. But I mean, well, it was like in numbers, right?
Oh, I got you.
Yeah, like on the number pad. So I really, I mean, I like the song a lot. But I think now with like a different perspective, returning to this album, I think that's not as high. I wouldn't rank it as high as I used to.
I still think it rocks.
Yeah. No, I still think it rocks too.
All right, track 8.
Yeah. It's another kind of
The penultimate track.
Yeah. Is this dust really from the Titanic? But I think this interlude a lot. I think it's really funny. I think it's really self-aware, and I think that that's one of the things Will Toledo does best is being self-aware. And if anything, that's part of why I feel like now I'm more so. I mean, not so. I still like the song a lot, but on the previous track, just because it feels not self-aware, but just like less of the self-awareness. And I think it's cool seeing. I mean, it's kind of like in America, you see a little bit like the tour life.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cool seeing some of this artist kind of stuff. The kind of his interpretation of it. I think it's neat.
Yeah, it's neat to see his insight into what tour life is like more. So, but yeah, I think the song rocks, and it keeps that energy going throughout. It doesn't dip at all. Just straight forward, full speed ahead, and it goes. It's solid. What is it, like 2 minutes exactly?
Mm-hmm.
No.
3 seconds short.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I think it's interesting. Do you see these two songs as more of an interlude, or do you think that's its own like song?
I think of this as an interlude.
Yeah, me too. And I think as an interlude, it's a lot stronger than 994, just because it's more interesting.
Yeah, for when it has lyrics.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't think an interlude needs lyrics to be an interlude, but I think, or to be good. But I think, yeah, in this case, it really helps, just because that's what Will Toledo is good at.
Yeah, he's good at using his voice like an instrument.
Yeah, like singing.
I feel like my statement has more than you're laying on.
I don't want to tear you down like that.
But I'll just ignore that.
Just ignore it.
All right, we can just go to the last song now.
I'll apologize. I love this little mean.
Song 9.
I'll admit. Song 9? Oh, right, there's only 9 songs in the album. This Hey Space Cadet, Beast Monster Thing in Space. That's where, when I said Beast Monster Thing in Space, that's where it came from. Was from that.
But no, wrong song.
Yeah, it wasn't in space yet. Then.
Yeah, you forgot. That's just the iconic line in Hey Space Cadet where he says, Beast Monster Thing in Space.
He says that?
No.
I don't think so. To me, it's a 9-minute song. I could have snuck it in somewhere. I don't know.
Anyways, so we've come to the end. Hey Space Cadet, the pinnacle of the album, the quintessential "How to Leave Town" song? ? I think I agree with that statement.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I like how it feels. I don't know. Something about it feels like more off the cuff. Like I think it's something that's always perplexed me about the track is that not in like a bad way. It's just interesting because I know that this is supposed to be an EP. It's supposed to be like outtakes from.
Is it?
Yeah, it's supposed to be like outtakes from Teens of the Nile. When it seems to have the structure in this last song that uses elements from a lot of the songs on it, at least two, mainly Kimochi, Wairu, and You're in Love with Me. I think it's effective. It's a very, very Will Toledo thing to do to bring those in. But I just think it's interesting considering it, he's like, oh, this is an EP. So I think it's neat. I like how it feels more loose than any other kind of climactic song that he's ever made. I think it sounds more. Has the instrumentation is a little more like noodly at points. He's kind of like just
going with the flow.
I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Especially at the end.
Yeah, I like how it just further continues. I mean, I guess the dual themes of the album, I guess EP by technicality, of just being on tour and then not liking love, I guess.
Yeah, I think it definitely ties a neat bow on it. I guess not really a neat bow because that would be there it just brings you a conclusion. I don't know, I like it a lot. I think it's a fun piece. A fun ending. Sorry, I'm tired. You can edit out all the times I say I like it because it's just me. It's just a way of me saying
staying in.
Okay, or you do an I like it counter. Oh man, YouTube moment.
No, I won't do that. It's too much.
Yeah, it's too much work.
But no, I really like this one. I remember 4th of July, I was just like in my backyard staring at all the neighborhood fireworks, listening to it, and it felt amazing.
That would be cool.
When it gets to the big crescendo, the big crashing moment, and everything's going on, oh, it felt great.
No, I think that'd be cool.
It was really cool, I promise.
Yeah, next 4th of July, you have me booked.
Or fireworks holiday wherever you live.
That's true. We have an international audience. YouTube isn't region locked.
Mostly.
Yeah, I don't know how that works.
Basically.
Yeah. Are you have anything else to say about Hey Space Cadet?
I think it's really fun. I love the part where I was joking with him when it came up, but like, hey Space Cadet, you are now in space.
Wait, that's what he actually says in the song?
I swear that's what he actually says.
Oh, he does say that. You are now crashing in space. Yeah.
Oh, he says you're now crashing in space.
Yeah.
I just thought he said you're now in space.
That would be funny. I think it's neat. Yeah, I think I don't know. I like it. Say that again. It's a cool kind of feels more off the cuff than a lot of those climactic Will Toledo special songs. You know, that are like longer and include elements from other parts of the album and all.
I mean, he still throws in lines from earlier.
Yeah, that's what I mean. But it feels more like off the cuff.
Okay, yeah.
It feels a little more looser. Like he's just like, let's see where this goes. And obviously that's not how it was recorded, how it was made. But I think that's a cool element of it. He kind of creates a little bit of I feel like it feels genuine in that way. I think it's a cool ending track. I think it's a neat piece of music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'm getting the vibe. You ready for the top 3?
I think I'm ready for the top 3. I just need to solidify it. You can go first if you're third.
Oh, I'm not solidified.
Mm-hmm. Pause. My number 3 pick for this album, number 3, is "You're in Love with Me." I think it's a cool. Like I said, I think it's a really fun song on the album. I think it's important to how the album works, and I think it's I don't know. I like it a lot. I think it's really it has the Barack line.
It does have the Barack line.
And that Barack's
somewhere in the crowd, and I knew
he would be proud.
that Barack would be proud. My number 3 is I want you to know that I'm awake. / I hope that you're asleep.
No.
It is a little draining. I will give it that. But I think it's just very vibe heavy for, I don't know, if I'm ever again in an angsty mood.
Yeah.
It goes hard. It's got great parts to just like feel and experience the music. So big ups for that.
I think that's true. I think having music to feel is pretty cool. And yeah, I like that one too. I enjoy it. My set number 2 is Beast Monster Thing. I think it's real. You know, it's a fun one. I like where it is in the album. I like when it just like comes out and hits you. I like the lines,
beginning.
the wordplay. Yeah, the beginning. Like after the length of ending of Dramamine, how it just comes
After
it's like,
trudging through the ending of Dramamine.
it's not a trudge. It's a nice sit. You know.
I feel like it can be.
It can be. I can be like, I want to listen to this album, but I really don't want to listen to the ending of Dramamine.
There has been, yeah, I've listened to this album, barring the ending of Dramamine, a handful of times.
Yeah.
Where it's just that. Like, I don't want to listen to that 15-minute song.
Yeah.
That is kind of repetitive. Not even kind of.
Yeah. No, it's not. I think even on that ending Dramamine, it's an impressive idea, but yeah. I like Beast Monster Thing. I think it's cool.
Yeah, my number 2 is Hey Space Cadet, Beast Monster Thing in Space. Once again, I think it feels really nice to listen to. It's got a lot of dramatic parts, and the lyrics have some funny sections.
It really is our sleepy time.
What?
It really is our sleepy time.
It is a bit of a sleepy time. It is almost midnight right now, IRL, fun fact.
Yeah. It is, yeah. And then, you're done with that?
That's my number 2.
That's your number 2. My number 1 is America, Never Been. I just think it's cool. I think it has it feels like such a rush. It feels like it has so many different things going on. It's like, that's life, man. You know, it goes fast, and if you blink, you'll miss it.
That's fair.
That's what I mean. I think that's a Ferris Bueller quote. Is it? No, it's something like that. But I think it's cool. I think it goes through, it connects the two kind of themes of this album more than any other, I feel like. And I think it's a good takeaway from the album. The one that stands on its own but also fits into the greater context.
My number 1 is Beast Monster Thing. I guess out of the 2 overall themes of the albums, I relate more to the rough love life, as I've not toured as a musician before. But I'm sure it hits hard if you have the other half. But I feel like Beast Monster Thing really hits the hardest on that department of the album, thematically speaking. And I think I said it when we went over it. It was my favorite in high school. Still my favorite out of this album. It's got a lot of very strong points. So yeah.
I like it too, if you can catch my drift. Okay, do you have any final thoughts for the album where it sits, wider discography, why as a vibe?
As a vibe, I would say it's mostly just depressing.
Yeah, it's pretty depressing. I think
it's got some more spaced out moments too.
Yeah, I think it's
of just existential. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's very sonically interesting. I think it tackles new ideas in a way. I think a lot of Headrest is about that anger at your partner, and that kind of bitterness towards them. And I think that definitely showed up in Monomania a lot. And so I think that kind of, and here it's intertwined, but I feel like it's a little more mature here, which I like. And it's a neat album. I like how it intertwines ideas. I'd say I put it at this point in this cartoonist discography, if we were going on it like chronologically, I think Twin Fantasy still tops it, but I'd say it would be like the second best one.
I guess I'll only know for sure when we listen to Twin Fantasy.
Yeah.
If we ever do that.
If we ever do that, yeah, you don't want to voice your opinion. You don't want to spoil it. You're fair. Yeah, I guess that's fair for the content.
It's all about the content.
It's all about the content. So what do you think about the?
Tell us in the comments below.
Yeah,
All right, let's get to the part we're all waiting for.
Yeah.
All right, countdown here. 5, 4, 3, 2. Oh wait, do you have yours locked in? I should ask that first.
I was frantically deciding the last second. Yeah, I think I have it locked in.
All right, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 8.
Yeah.
Let's go.
That's 2 in a row.
That is 2 in a row.
Yeah.